Hi friends. The amount of takes that I've done for just this opening and the ending, intro, outro, all of it, I'm pretty sure I've done it at least 3 times. And we are quickly approaching the year mark of my going to Korea trip, and I have been wanting to do this freaking video. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and just dive right into it. God, I hate this lighting. Last year, my family and I took a trip to Korea. It was fun, it was wonderful, and it was my sister-in-law's first time going to Korea. She had never been to Korea before, and it was just a first-time experience for her. She got to meet the Korea side of the family that didn't get to go to the wedding, and it was a trip that my brother had always wanted to go on for a long while. He hadn't been to Korea. Oh God, it had been a long time. My last trip to Korea was literally months before the whole world shut down in 2019, just at the tail end there when things were going chaotic. God, that was a while ago. All of this to say is that because it was my sister-in-law's first trip, I wanted to create something that kind of helped make the whole trip extra memorable, extra special, just sort of a travel guide kind of deal. I was actually inspired by one of my artist friends, Mo Steele. You can check her page out there. She has created multiple zines. Now, forgive me, I would also like to preface this by saying that I might accidentally say Zine. I really want to say Zine. It's zine, like the magazine, it's zine. Anyways, she has made multiple different kinds of zines, and she had, it's a very, very simple zine craft anybody can partake in. She made hers, she forwarded me the artist that inspired her, so I will link everything accordingly. But basically, I wanted to create a sort of Korea guide, as it were. I will forward this over to Past Alley to give the breakdown of the thought process, but generally speaking, a lot of it was just sort of self-knowledge and travel tips in general that I looked up in Pinterest, because when I go to Korea, I'm not thinking about it in a tourist sense. I've been to Korea multiple times, so we were gonna obviously hit a lot of touristy hotspots because it had been her first time. I will also like to preface this, and I know I say it in the video, I had watched K-pop Demon Hunters when it had come out, and it had come out 2 weeks prior to my trip, so she was latched on, and when we were in Korea, nobody knew what this movie was about. My sister-in-law and my brother didn't know what this movie was about. I was obsessed. That soundtrack was on repeat on my way to Korea, and it's not a very long soundtrack, but it's still good. Anyway, so here's Past Alley. All right, I had to go look for the things, but okay, so I have 4 documents that I have spread out or created. It's still really early. Maybe I need more coffee. Okay, so I created 4 different file types depending on what it is that I wanted. I originally had created this Korea guide, which was sort of, I honestly don't remember if I actually gave it to my sister-in-law, but these were some of the stuff, like a pre-travel checklist, if you were. So a lot of it was just a lot of the general stuff that one would do before they go travel. So getting visas, getting the passport set up, making sure you have all of those things, the plugs, all that stuff. And then a general get to step in Korea, you do walk a lot. So I don't, like I said, remember if I actually gave this to her. Oh yes, I had started doing sort of the conversion money, like what the dollar is to won, and sort of the translations of it. So like what $5 is 5,000 won. If it's $50, then it's 50,000 won. But what I ended up doing is I actually held off on this portion and put it on the zine instead. So another thing that I created for my sister-in-law is that I mentioned that she really likes scrapbooking, so I created a fake plane ticket. And editing Alley, go ahead and just blur out the names. That'd be great. And other sensitive information. So this is just a fake. I looked up on Pinterest boarding pass designs, I think. So basically, I just went in and I took reference from boarding passes. I wanted to make it look very generic as possible. I believe this icon, I did not draw that. I believe it is a stamp that I found on Clip Studio. And then I just found a generic barcode, and I think I erased some of the lines so that way, just in case. But yeah, I just added just cute little things, the flight, just sort of where you're going, and then how long the dates were. So this was just like a cute little template, or just a little thing that she could use when decorating. And then I created the little passport book, which included a checklist of places that we would go. So I definitely knew that there were places that she wanted to go and that we were going to go as a family. So I just basically just created this little thing, and then, as you'll see later, inserted that. I left some spaces for places that, her and my brother would go by themselves, or just any other place that we would just spontaneously go as a family. We had our hot spots that we wanted to check out, but then there were definitely places that we were just like, if we have time, we can go. So wanted to give some space there. And so, okay, so this is the big one. So this is the actual inside of the zine. Still really want to say Zine. So what I ended up doing is so these are all of the, if you can see here, of the actual layers of everything. And then I just drew everything. Also, I had literally just watched K-pop Demon Hunters 2 weeks prior to this. So you can kind of see a little reference of stuff, of the little characters when I put in just little Korea tips and just general culture things. This movie had locked it. I knew it was going to, but at the time, K-pop Demon Hunters hadn't been released to Korean audiences yet, and it was only starting to get traction by the time that I left. So I was a little ahead of the curve. I was obsessed with a movie that nobody had any idea what this movie was about. But it was for me, it was fun. But anyways, I included things that we would eat, drink, what their Korean translations were, some Korean apps that would be very helpful. And yeah, so this was, I think, my sketch layer of just kind of drawing out everything as large as I can. And then I would shrink them down. Here's the money page, is what I mentioned before, including the images. Definitely had to use reference for that, because it's not like I carry around 50,000 won in my pocket. So I had to look up reference for that, and just what they would all be. And then I also had created, so the map is kind of cut off here, but again, it was the same deal. And these are all of this sort of districts, I guess they would be, in Seoul, and where some of the iconic landmarks and places that we would visit, and then obviously Han River cutting through. So just pulling all of this together. Once I was happy with everything, I merged everything down, so it was a lot easier to be able to kind of go through and move things. Wow. So that was that. And then this is the layout of everything for the zine. So how I ended up, so it's blank right here. I think I ended up writing down what it was, but this is the general layout, and you can see based off of the grid where the fold lines would be. Left this page blank. But yeah, so this is the art layout of everything. Yeah, they were very much just quick little doodles. They weren't anything clear cut. I hand wrote a couple of things. I basically went through and followed Momo's sort of step by step, as well as the original when I say original, it's pretty much the one that sort of inspired her and then eventually inspired me, but their step-by-step process on how they basically measured and folded and cut the page in order to make this zine. It was fairly straightforward, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and cut to that.
참 신기해 너 없이 사라지는 거 보면 잠깐이었지만 우리 한 추억들 잊지 못해 호흡마저 좀 better 참 이상해 솔직히 말야 가끔 생각나 너의 말투 표정이 뭔지 혹시 너도 그래 I'm just hoping that you're 좀 better 우연히 너를 만났어 어색한 분위기 속에 너와 나의 chemistry 날 끌어안아줄 때 난 기억해 네가 한 말 I can never forget you Hope you know 네가 어디에 있어도 딴 사람 생긴다 해도 You always be my number one Did you know 내 맘은 아직 너뿐이야 말 못해줘서 미안해 You always be my number one 한번 날 바라봐봐 Baby don't leave me by 말하고 싶어도 나 자꾸 알아 보고 싶어도 참을게 이게 내 최선이야 우연히 너를 만났어 어색한 분위기 속에 너와 나의 chemistry 날 끌어안아줄 때 난 기억해 네가 한 말 I can never forget you Hope you know 네가 어디에 있어도 딴 사람 생긴다 해도 You always be my number one Did you know 내 맘은 아직 너뿐이야 말 못해줘서 미안해 You always be my number one
Hello. We've changed locations, kind of, sort of. The lighting seems better here. So yeah, so that is pretty much this, how I made just a mini little travel, welcome to Korea, little guide, Korea zine for my sister-in-law. I have recorded this intro and outro at least 3 times trying to figure out how I wanted to just even edit this video, and I can't even say if it was procrastination. There was something about it where I just didn't feel the vibe for this video. So, but we did it. We're done. We're here. Thank God. I can just breathe easy until I have to sit down and try to edit my next video. The next video that she has also recorded multiple times and edited multiple times. It's a trend. It's a trend. Anyways, that is all for this round of the chaos. Yeah, I am endeavoring this time to try to do 2 videos this month. And yeah, and it'll be fine. I will do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set that challenge for myself, and I'm gonna try to be as proactive as I can about it. And even if the video isn't as entertaining, I am trying to get into a better habit. Posting videos once a month is okay, but let me try to do 2 videos It's the challenge that I'm setting for myself. Otherwise, that is all for this round, guys. Thank you so much again for sticking around, checking the video out. Please do all the fun YouTube algorithm things. You know the drill. Very much appreciate it. And until the next one, stay awesome, my friends. Bye.